and knowing that you got an opportunity to do it, the excitement definitely kicked in when I sat with it for a little bit.
Jim?
Jim Lazarski, Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Welcome, Dave. When and why did Milwaukee, I guess, pop up for you as a potential place to go? Like, when did you maybe think about that, and why did that become a place that you were like, okay, I'd be comfortable going there?
It was, I would say, maybe 2 weeks ago. It was just all this talk and all of these things, and there was a lot of things said that didn't come from me. I hadn't spoke on the situation a whole lot. But as we got into it, my agent called me and he was just like, what about Milwaukee? And obviously Giannis, is public record that I've always mentioned. If I had to team up with one person, it would be him. So when we talked about it, I was like, I would definitely be interested in that, obviously. And he was just like, okay, and I could tell he kind of put it in his back pocket. And obviously in these situations, you never control completely, how things end up or where you end up going. So, it came about, and it was an option, and it was like, press play. Why not? Why pass up on that type of opportunity? So, it was something that came up, I would say, 2 weeks ago, and I was interested in that for sure. And now that we're here, I'm excited for this opportunity.
Vince?
Damn, you brought it up earlier, playing with Giannis. Vince Gill or Yahoo Sports, sorry about that. You're in a situation where you said publicly, you said to Chris, I'm going to a situation where I'm not the best player.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can have the ball in your hands the last 2 or 3 minutes of the game. Is that something that appealed to you, that sort of situation where you don't have to carry, but you can still be yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always be myself, and being myself doesn't always mean that, I got to be out front or everything has to be about me. I think because of who I am as a person, the way that I prepare myself, the way that I approach the game, I'm going to find a way to have an impact. And like I said, playing with somebody like Giannis, the kind of attention that he's going to get is only going to make the game easier and more simple for me. And I think because of the way that I impose myself when I do play and how I attack games, he's going to have the kind of opportunity that I think he hasn't had as well. So, I mean, the best thing I can tell you is how exciting it's going to be, how excited I am, and that I'm prepared for it. I don't go into any situation expecting to, for things to be about me. So I know the player that he is, I know the player that I am, and I know how to make my presence felt regardless of the role. It's not the same as this level, but when I was in college, I walked into a situation where it was, upperclassmen, seniors that were had been there a couple years. They had been established. They were known around our conference, and I stepped in, and I didn't step on nobody's toes, but I announced my presence, and I announced myself and did what I had to do. It was the same when I got to Portland. LA was an all-star. Wes was a vocal presence. Batum was the same, and I stepped in and announced my presence, and that was while understanding that I'm playing with LaMarcus Aldridge, but he also needs me to be who I am, for us to be our full selves and our best selves as a team. So I think this is similar to that, except I'm older. My understanding of it is even better. And I think I'm the best version of myself as a player as well. So I think we'll complement each other really well. And, I think he's the kind of guy that he's not going into it worried about being the man or anything like that either. So I think it'll work out perfectly.
As we continue, just a reminder, name and affiliation before you ask your question. Jack, go ahead.
How's it going, Damian? Jack Maloney, CBS Sports. A little bit specifically on that partnership with Giannis, you're one of the best pick and roll guys in the league. Yeah. It's pretty easy to envision that sort of partnership. Have you thought about that possibility and just what sort of impact you two can have specifically on the pick and roll?
Yeah, I think it's obviously I'm a pick and roll player. I've played a lot of pick and roll in my career. And when I think about playing with him, I was just trying to figure out how do you defend it. I haven't played against a lot of coverages where teams aren't at the level of the screen, whether it's showing, trapping, or just being there to where I got to get a ball up. And I can't imagine him wanting him to have the ball, at the free throw line coming downhill with an advantage. And Chris on the wing and Brooke, you got really good players out there. So I've definitely thought about it, and